piece of glass or something like that.
Hi, everybody. We are live. It is Headlines, What You Need to Know. I'm Sybil Wilkes, and today is Tuesday, and I am graced by the presence of two comedic geniuses, one J. Anthony Brown and one Damon Williams.
Well,
Hello,
the only
gentlemen.
the only comedian now is Damon. I haven't been on stage. Sybil, I don't know my act. I might do Leslie's act because she's doing everybody else. Did I say that? Yes,
Okay, well, shots fired.
Hey, man, Paul Mooney gone. That's fresh material
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, Michael Collins already got that, so don't worry.
All right, then. So now we are off and running. Hi,
We're off and
guys.
running.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about that during entertainment because I do want to talk about, Damon, you got some things coming up. And Jay, I am curious about how you ramp up again to get back on stage. So we will talk about that. Let's talk about what's going on today. The Senate, two Senate committees released their report today on what happened on January 6th. Now, we saw it.
Yeah.
We saw what happened. We saw how lives were lost. We saw the violence. We saw how people who were hyped up and driven by Donald Trump to take over the Capitol. And yet now there is a whole party that says it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. You don't want to talk about it. Let it go.
So during this release of the Senate report, they detailed the failures around the January 6th report. They talked about the communication failures. They talked about the lack of cohesion between the different departments, especially as it resulted with the Capitol Hill Police, about how long it took for the National Guard to be brought into and to take action and take control of the madness that was the insurrection. That's as far as they went. They don't talk about the why. And we talk about that in tomorrow's newsletter, but I'm just wondering if either one of you had a chance to take a look or to hear anything about it today.
Well,
Jay?
they don't talk about how the Capitol Hill Police had been calling when it started early. They were making calls, and they got orders from Donald Trump's sidekick not to incite the rioters, to protect them. So, now they're going to try to blame it on the inefficiency of the Capitol Police when it's not. It has nothing to do with white guys acting crazy, storming the Capitol. It has nothing to do with. They don't want to talk about it. So.
And it definitely doesn't have anything to do with Donald Trump, according to.
No, that had nothing to do with Donald Trump. No,
to those folks.
No.
Damon, have you had a chance to look into it today?
I got a little brief part of it. They said the one thing that they took from that is that they didn't allocate the resources properly to defend the different circumstances. So, I mean, none of that should have gotten out of hand if we all know, and it's been said a million times, if they prepared for it like they would if it was a black rally. So,
right.
it would have been a whole different thing. In fact, they would have brought back billy clubs.
Right. Yeah. And the water hoses, right?
And the dogs. They would have brought back the dogs if they.
Man.
One of the things that they did talk about was the role of social media and how it did have an effect in terms of knowing about it. They said there were days, if not weeks ahead, that they were aware of the social media postings and regarding the folks coming to Washington, D.C. to bring down the Capitol and to stop the vote on the election of Joe Biden. They knew about this, and yet they were not sharing the information. They were not telling each other. And I think, and I don't have any information to confirm this, but I think that one of the next people to go, and they're going to put it on the shoulders of the Black woman, Yogananda Pittman, who is the head of the Capitol Hill Police. And I would not be surprised if she is shown the door.
They're going to blame the insufficiency on her, and it's going to be her problem and her fault when there were orders, and you saw them yourself, orders not to disturb them, not to harm them at all. Like Damon was said, had it been black people out there, it would have been a different story. It just would have been a different story. There'd be dead Negroes all over, they'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and it's hard for them to say that they didn't know about it, because hell, we knew about it. We knew before it happened, and that's why there wasn't no black people out there. Because the nights leading up to it, that whole weekend or whenever it was, they were already clashing in the streets the prior nights before that. So we cleared out. All the DC Negroes were nowhere near the Capitol, and they knew not to be, because
you're right.
the crazy
Ben's Chili Bowl was empty that day, man.
And the mayor of DC, Muriel Bowser, you know, she was like, okay, we're ready. We heard that these folks are coming, and we know that they don't mean any good, and so we are ready. She knew that, and as well as others. And then all of the information that they had regarding the maps and the hallways and underground.
And representatives who were giving tours inside.
Yeah.
Because I've never been in the Capitol and said, offices are hard to find if you don't know where you're going. Like Claiborne's office is really hidden in a very hidden place. And so, they were going right directly to his office and Pelosi's office too. And they had to have help.
Yeah.
They found her, right?
Yeah, they found her office, feet up on the desk and taking stuff off her desk and everything else.
But what does it say about? Go ahead, Damon. Go ahead.
There's visual evidence of the guards waving people in.
Yeah, yeah.
Opening gates, waving them in, taking selfies. So
opening the security gates, Damon. Right? It's like, come on, read. Yeah. The door.
And even though they were letting them in and showing them the way around the building, they still took their dumb asses up the wall. That's the craziest part. The police were giving them directions. You could just come right here in front of the building. It's all steps.
They just wanted to show their wall climbing skills. You know how white people are. When they know something, they just got to show it to you. Look at me. But I'm really surprised that Mike Pence, who was fearing for his life by his boss, and then he goes and praises the guy and take the knee and says, I'm still in agreement with Donald Trump.
Yeah, and
you say you about to kill me
the other
one
day.
time. We not cool no more. We just not
right. Even Mike Pence's brother the other day, voted, did not vote in favor of the January 6th commission. His brother, who is in Congress, saw what happened to his brother and would not stand up. And then, as you mentioned, Jay, just the other day, Mike Pence is out there trying to dig up some support for his possible run in 2024.
Well, Mike Pence does not know. He does not own the Republican Party. That crazy white lady and the other crazy white men, I don't want to call their name, they're in control of the Republican Party. Mike Pence does not have enough fire behind his ass to get people to vote for him, and so that he's going to be the president. A homegirl from South Carolina would have a better chance than Mike Pence.
Nikki Haley.
Tricky Nikki. Tricky Nikki has a better chance of, being the Republican. But the real truth is something's got to happen to Donald Trump for anybody to run. Trump's got to be gone, or he's got to die, or something's got to happen to him, because nobody can take over that party and run as long as Trump is alive and in charge. And the guy ain't even on the internet. He's not on the internet. He's not on television.
He's taking
he's like Gotti in prison, and he's still running shit.
It always comes back to a mafia reference, doesn't it? Yeah. So let's talk about our Vice President. Kamala Harris has made her first trip on foreign soil, and it's not going great.
It ain't gonna go great, Sybil. He gave her the hardest fucking job. It's like count all these jelly beans in a jar while I do president, and you get back to me. There's
or the bubbles on the soap, right?
Problem? Come on, Sybil.
She is in the midst. She started off Sunday, and Sunday didn't start well either, guys, because there was a problem with the plane. And so they had to circle around, come back and land, get on another plane. And then she managed to get to Guatemala. And when she got to Guatemala, she gave a speech yesterday. And let's hear a little bit of that.
And I want to emphasize that the goal of our work is to help Guatemalans find hope at home. At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
So then
it's like
they're like, okay, all right.
We're having Freaknik in Atlanta. Negroes, please don't come. Do not come.
Like, yeah, we know that they're gonna go through with the All-Star game, but please don't come down here. We're out of Hennessy.
Look, we don't have women booty butt naked riding on top of cars, but please do not come down here.
Stay here in misery, but don't come.
There's free food everywhere. I know you're starving, but don't come.
There's gonna be so much ass on the streets, but you guys do not, please, we're begging. Don't come down to Atlanta, okay?
So not only in her own way, and she didn't make the comparison to Atlanta. Okay.
Look, I know it's Pride Week. And you want to wear your rainbow jerseys, but please don't come to Atlanta.
Look, we know there's been a bunch of you guys who are dressed up like policemen with your ass out, but what we're asking you, we're begging you.
All you YMCA fellas, no, don't even think about it.
Okay, so we'll go ahead.
So now she's getting grief not only from people who are making comparisons to her message to Guatemalans, but she's also getting it, catching it all hell from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as she is telling folks not to come, and she arrived to protest, and then the president hit the airways saying they are not on the same side of the coin, and despite all of these talks, so she's trying to tell people. And then Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the congresswoman from New York, took her to task for her message and continued to blame the U.S. for the surge of illegal aliens. And she said, this is not the way you need to talk to the people. Don't tell them not to come. What about talking to them about how we can help better their lives? And instead of just saying, don't come, what are we going to do to make their lives better so that they don't come? And she said, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making this dangerous trek, don't come. And she said, if you come to our border, you will be turned back. And this hit the people of Central America and displeased the Ocasio-Cortez contingent. And she said, first, seeking asylum at any U.S. border is a 100% legal method of arrival. Second, the U.S. spent decades contributing to regime change and destabilization of Latin America. We can't help set someone's house on fire and then blame them for fleeing. So telling them not to come after this country has been so complicit in doing wrong and changing their lifestyles and making life miserable for them, and then tell them that you can't come up here, don't come. That doesn't make any sense to her and to a lot of other people, especially.
You're right. So what do you do when you're in the car and you're trying to drive toward freedom? Do you, the vice president said, turn around, so we're just going to go back, okay? Hey, you heard the message. Don't look at me. Shit.
I'm just a messenger.
Hey, I know this is the first time we did it without the condom, but don't come.
Please don't come. Do not come.
Whatever you do.
Yeah. Well, it's like they gave her the hardest job, that it's almost impossible. It was impossible when Trump was in office. It was impossible when Barack Obama. You can go back as far as you want to. It's an impossible task for her to achieve. And Biden, it's what he's doing. Give her the hard shit, Yeah, it's like
you wanted to be president.
When they divide up the chicken, but here's the thing: nobody's been married in this little room more than me. Nobody has been married more than me.
Okay.
When something happens the day of your wedding, take it as an omen. Okay. When your plane when your plane doesn't go off and you're supposed to go deal with something, it's a sign from God that says what you're about to deal with, there's no way.
Take this as a sign from above.
Take it as a sign, Sybil. Take it as a sign.
The plane's not working, or if it rains.
Okay, all right, I'm not going.
I get it. But Jay and Damon, think about this. Once she gets through all this, and this is not going to be an easy trip for her. Obviously, as it started out, it's not likely to get any better. As she is dealing with very sexist men, south of the border, and all of this, as well as progressives on the other side of our wall, telling her that she's not doing a good job. And now she'll come back, and the president has already put in her lap getting those voting bills passed. Just think about that. Dealing with Manchin and McConnell and all those other Republicans. And yes, I am calling him a Republican. So these are the challenges. And I really believe that, now that Biden's got her where he wants her, you wanted to be president so bad. Okay, so here you go. I'm just going to go over and visit the Queen. And even talking to Putin is going to be easier than what you're going through right now.
Definitely. You're absolutely right. To go and talk to the Queen, and you deal with the hard shit that nobody can deal with, and get back to me and let me know how that's going.
Right?
You know how the fuck it's going.
Yeah.
It's not going at all, and it ain't gonna happen. The Republicans don't.
It's not coming.
It's not coming. It's like without the condom. It's not coming. They don't want to talk about voting rights for anybody. They'd rather talk about. They don't want to talk about slavery. They don't want to talk about voting rights, but they'll talk about Bigfoot, the Easter Bunny, any other shit that you can come up with. The green men. They're seeing people from outer space. They really exist, but Negroes don't exist. The stuff we went through, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they want to erase all of our history. Absolutely right. Yeah. Here's a young man who has been on the Tom Joyner show. I've interviewed him a couple of times for his books, and his name is Wes Moore. I don't know if you'll recognize him. You may have seen him on a number of news programs. He has been an outspoken proponent. Wes Moore has announced that he is going to be running for the governorship of Maryland. Wes Moore is a great guy. I'm very excited about his announcement and launching his bid for governor, although it is already a crowded field in the Democratic field, launching his highly anticipated bid for governor yesterday. He's 42 years old. He's a military veteran, a best-selling author, and former CEO of an anti-poverty organization, and joining the list of a number of people who are running for governor already. The crowded field includes former Prince George's County Executive Shern L. Baker III, former Clinton advisor John Barron, State Controller Peter Franchot, former State Attorney General Douglas Ganser, and Obama administration official Ashwani Jain, former Education Secretary John King. So these are all the people that are running for governor and are already running. I think that Wes Moore has his work cut out for him, but I think that he's also up to the task. Do we have a little bit of his campaign video as he made his announcement? We don't? Okay. He said his ultimate priority as governor would be to make Maryland the first state to eliminate the racial wealth gap. Despite great pockets of affluence in Maryland, 41% of the children in that state live in poverty. I don't think that this is a job that he would take lightly. And I really admire him, as I said, but I really think that he's going to run a great campaign, and I wish him a lot of luck. But I really don't know why people want these jobs these days. I mean,
especially the ability to look in your background and see, and bring out all the dirt and stuff that you've done. Why would you run for public office? I mean, like you said, you applaud the people who do, but there's no way in hell I could run with the amount of weed I smoke. There's no way that I could run for anything.
And speaking of that region, Red Grant is running for mayor of DC. He wants
That's
to
right.
be the mayor.
I saw that. Yeah. Right.
So he's running again because he has run before,
he
right?
ran before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's running again, and I wish him all the luck in the world. I think the comedians would be some of the best politicians, however, because
not this one. No. Maybe Damon. Damon has a nice settled life. There's no trouble. No, not Jay. No, I can't.
Not if they start digging, Jay. I can't do it. Not if they start digging, player. But I will say this: DC, if there's any place a comedian should try to run, it should be DC, because I mean, you got the perfect slogan. If Marion Barry could do it, who can't? You know?
If Marion can,
hey, if a crackhead can do it, so can I. Who said ooh?
You know who said ooh. You know your biggest fan, Yolanda Stark, so I said ooh.
Did I just let the cat out the bag? My bad. I'll stop slandering.
Speaking of politicians, and I didn't have this on my list, but speaking of politicians and former politicians, a shout out to our DC former mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick, is out of prison, and he has announced, I think today is his birthday, but he has also announced that he is he's found God and he is getting married again. Damon, he's And should I just let that lay there, or
Hey, he who's without sin cast the first stone. I mean, of course he found God. Everybody finds God in prison. He only been out for a little while. I want to see how holy he is 6 months from now. That's what, yeah, because you either find God or Allah when you go to jail as a brother.
Right. And we've seen The Chi. We know how that goes.
Yes.
So that is going to be interesting, but I do wish him well. He really is. Kwame has always been a friend to the Tom Dorner Show and to those of us on the show. So I wish him well, and I'm very happy for him that he has found love again and is moving in that direction. All right. Yeah, right. All right. So we have a trending video, and now I think we changed the trending video, Yolanda? Did we change it? Okay. All right. So Damon, you may have heard this story. This is a young man in North Carolina. He was the first in his family who has immigrated to this country from Mexico. Speaking of the vice president and her trip, this young man was going across the stage last week to receive his diploma. And I said the very first
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, so here is a little bit of the video of him going across the stage and how he was dressed. So this young man, whose name is Ever, was wanting to show his pride and to show how he had accomplished something to his family, and wearing the Mexican flag across his robe that he was wearing, as the other students were. The North Carolina principal came under fire. She denied the 18-year-old his diploma when he wore the flag during the graduation ceremony. The school district said the decision stemmed from a violation of dress code protocols, and the student was given a holder. That's what took so long. They were telling him he had to take it off, and they were giving him a holder for the diploma. So they were taking the diploma out, I guess, and giving him the holder and sending him on. He did get his diploma this week. And so that is a part of our trending video brought to you by hotterthanamofo.com. I'm just wondering that, and this is from TikTok. a lot of conversation about this and how ridiculous this is. Last week we had a story, you guys, about a young boy who was getting his high school diploma, and he had some really nice leather sneakers on, leather
And they
athletic
made
shoes.
him take them off.
And
Right.
and she said he could not graduate with those shoes. It was not according to dress code. And there happened to be a man who is a mentor of sorts to the kids, and he took his shoes off and gave them to the young man. He had on some suede slipper shoes, and so and they were a little big, but he traipsed across the stage and received his diploma. All of these things are like, what is it that you are going to deny this on what is at that point probably the most important day of their life?
Well, for me, I can't speak for Damon. As hard as it was to graduate from high school, you know, doing a couple of grades twice. we don't have to bring that up.
No, we didn't. No,
we don't have to even discuss that.
Okay.
But you know, the other thing is that they had a meeting before he graduated. There was a dress code that you weren't supposed to do that. He did make a mistake. He was wrong for doing it. But like you said, I kind of think the teacher overreacted in terms of not giving him his diploma on that particular day. You know, I'm like, for me, if I was dressed up like a moose, you got to give me my diploma, because I worked really hard.
Here comes Ricky the Moose.
Or to the fact, just let him go, because he's never going to get this. Just let him graduate, because he's just not that smart. So we'll push him through. And that was my case. But like you said, he's never going to master this. Just let him go. So
what do you think, Damon?
Well, in my case, I have some experience with this. For 8th grade graduation, they had a strict code about our hair. So you couldn't have cornrows, you couldn't have your afro too excessive. And I happened to have a perm. I had brothers. And so like, my dad, he got the draper, so I went and got Pop's kind of hairstyle, right? And our principal made me strip my perm. So I had to go and get vinegar and everything and strip the perm out so I could get down to a fro. And I think that's what happened to my head to this day. Miss Vera L. Green, damn you. My daddy still got his hair. He made me put them.
I've seen your dad. Your dad has a full head of hair.
Beautiful hair.
Braided or whatever he wants to do with it. And he, like you said, you and me, my son lost his hair. But the beauty of my son was he kept coming around with inventions that he said, I found this for $2 and it grows hair. And I'm like, son, if they have something that grows hair, it's not going to be for $2, okay? So, but back to the subject. I just think.
So, Damon, you had to go and do this whole chemical thing with the vinegar before you were allowed to march across the stage and get your 8th grade diploma.
Wow.
Well, actually, I was president of the class, and I was doing the speech for the commencement speaker. So, in order for me to be able to give my speech and get my diploma, yes, I had to get my perm out.
Yeah. And it remains permanent. Look at that.
Well, this principal caught hell. They demonstrated. They called her out. I think they had pickets in front of her house.
Right.
All of this stuff. They really gave her. And a lot of these people, they don't think that they're gonna catch it, but they are. That's how out of tune they are with what's going on in our world. And people are demonstrating and saying, no, you gotta do right by this kid. I know, but there are exceptions to every rule. And I think denying this young man and creating
on that particular day, right, Sybil? Right. Yeah.
Even the kid, he had to, and the kid who had the tennis shoes on, he had some nice kicks. They were some Alexander McQueens. So his mama paid a pretty penny for those, right? And what was the worst? What was the absolute worst?
It's such an important day to graduate, and to deny this kid his graduation and to march in front of everybody. and represent the flag of the country that he was, representing. I think she overreacted. But the backstory on this particular teacher is she is a really good teacher, and she's just a caring teacher. Just like in this particular time, like you said, she overreacted, and she's paying for it right now.
And he kind of overdid it also, though. I mean, you could have had the little flag you waved. You could have had a lapel pin. There were other students that had their hats with the Mexican colors.
Right, that's what they were saying too.
He went out and got a flag robe, and you can't.
This is what happens when somebody tries to outdo somebody. Like, no, I'm gonna go to. And I know somebody said, "Dude, I don't think that's a good idea to have a big ass flag."
And Paul PJ Trap Star Walker, who has
I'm going big ass flag and
quite a name for himself. Paul PJ Trap Star Walker. Says all he was doing was putting his people on his back, saying, "I got y'all. If I can do it, you can do it." And I think that it's inspiring. I do too. But I agree, Damon. He could have just had a little something on top of his hat. When you graduate, you have those signs, or you say "Hi, Mom" or something, or you do your fraternity or sorority stuff on top of the cap.
I don't know what the yell is. "Viva la Mexico." I don't know if "Viva la" and Mexico goes together, but that would have. Do they go together? Viva la Mexico.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever.
Or what you do is you dress the protocol, and then after they hand you your diploma, then you drop roll and show your flag. Now you got your diploma, you can run out, ain't nothing they can do about it.
Or do a Anthony Brown and have the shorts, have his underwear made out of the Mexican flag.
Right. Or you pull out a big sombrero and you pull that out as soon as you get that like diploma, like Damon says, and then you raise hell then. So they both made mistakes. Right.
Yeah. So she's okay now. The kid is he got his diploma.
Rules are important. These young people.
Nicole says on Facebook, rules are important. These young people are already breaking rules. They should have escorted him out of the line. I just don't agree with you all on this one. Next year there will be something else. Where's the line that
I know what's going to happen next year?
What happens when the Confederate flag is on a student's back? He should not
have a big fucking band.
The mariachi band. You know what, Nicole? I am all for the rules. I honestly believe that. I think that if these kids have followed the rules all these years and gotten to this very important point in their lives,
let it go. You're right, Sybil.
I think you make an exception. I think you do.
Confederate flag?
And not the Confederate flag. Oh, hell no. We kick him
that's
and
the
his mom.
They're trying to make, Sybil. They're trying to make that comparison of some white kids who want to march with the Confederate flag.
I couldn't bring my Confederate flag in. Well, okay, I got your Confederate flag here. Son.
Yeah, I got your Confederate flag.
But I do agree with Nicole, because the way morals and values and actions are spiraling out of control, you got to have some type of decorum. Right. And it's already bad enough that the parents act a fool at the damn graduation.
Did you see that bit on Saturday Night Live a couple of weeks ago? They did it. They had enough Black people on Saturday Night Live that weekend that they were able to show parents who were acting out of control, and even white folks who were doing the same. That's where we are. And I agree that there are rules, but I also believe that there are some rules that are made to be broken. And this is one of day of celebration. So, but not my kid, not my school, not anything, I'm just, bringing.
Not your flag.
Definitely not my flag. But I'm not even sure the one for my country is my flag anymore.
No, not anymore. I don't think
you need the red, black, and green.
There you go. So that is our trending video. And as I said, that is brought to you by hotterthanamofo.com. So we thank you for that, Mr. Brown. I did want to bring this story to your attention too, J. Aintley Brown, talking about for our What You Need to Know newsletter. And every day we give you a coronavirus update. And a part of our discussion today was how far back Black folks are falling behind in getting the coronavirus vaccine. For a while, we were leading the pack, and now we are far behind other people of color, including Hispanics and Asians and what have you. So there's a great disappointment in the way that Black people are responding and getting their COVID-19 vaccine. Here in the state of Washington, they have kicked off Joints for Jabs to promote the COVID-19 vaccinations. I thought that I would bring this to your attention.
I like that.
Adults can claim a complimentary joint in Washington state this week when they receive a COVID-19 vaccine shot. The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board announced yesterday that the promotion called Joints for Jabs was effective immediately and will run through July 12th. Is it worth it for, having never smoked, is it worth it to get one joint in order to get your vaccination?
Before you can finish, yes, it is. Yes. Go ahead, D. D, go ahead. You say D.
I mean, of course he would say yes. JAB stands for J.
Exactly. Thank you. Was not lost on me. Thank you, Damon.
I'm saying if they really want to step it up, and they're close, they're giving shots at the strip clubs. They've gone into the strip club. But once you give up ass for a shot, the lines are going to be around the block. When you know that you can get it, you can get stuck and stick it. That's the motto.
A shot of jab for a shot of ass.
Now, state licensed cannabis retailers are permitted to give one free pre-rolled joint to customers. So it's not even one that you can roll yourself, because you might be a little bit more.
Ask for a shot. I'm with Damon. Ask for a shot. The lines will be longer than Chick-fil-A, and those are some long ass lines.
All right, so we can agree that it may not be the joint for a jab, but definitely getting a little bit up for a shot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh dear.
What do you expect?
I expected this. Damon and I were right there about the jab, and
then I took it. Okay, all right.
And then you took it to where you normally take things, which is ass for
ass.
Yeah. So today is election day in a couple of states, Virginia and New Jersey. Virginia, the Democrats are in line to vote. I think their polls have closed already. Looking at it's about 7:30. So their polls are closed. New Jersey polls will close in about 20 minutes. This is the Virginia, Commonwealth of Virginia. They are electing the Democratic nominee for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, the governor, attorney general, as well as state and House representatives. So House and Senate representatives. This is really interesting. In the state of Virginia, the governors are only given one term, and then you're done. You can run again after a period of time, and that's what Terry McAuliffe is doing. Terry McAuliffe is a former governor of Virginia, and now he's running again. And he's running in for the Democratic nomination against 3 Black people, 2 Black women and a Black man. The Lieutenant Governor, Justin Fairfax, who you may remember got into some trouble as women have made accusations of sexual assaults by him. But he is still in office, and he is running for governor, and 2 Black women are running as well, both of them by the name of Jennifer. Former state delegate Jennifer Carroll Foy and state senator Jennifer McClellan, along with Justin Fairfax. If either one of these women does win the nomination, they will definitely be making history. First is the first Black woman to be a governor of a state, as well as for the state of Virginia. This will be the first in the nation.
That's a good thing about elections nowadays, Sybil. Statewide elections for African Americans, especially women, are becoming easier and easier. Not easier, but becoming more for them to win these statewide elections more than men. And I don't understand why. It seems that women have a better chance of winning elections that are statewide, much better than men. And it's just,
Well, tell that to Stacey Abrams.
I know. Well, the cheating was involved, Sybil. She actually won that. I hate to go Trump on you, but she actually won that.
Oh, I agree with you, but it's still going to be difficult.
But she's going to run again. So good luck to all these people who are running. Like you said, it's the 2 ladies who are running for office statewide in a statewide election. So it can be very tough, right?
It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in Virginia. And also, they are looking at the lieutenant governor's race could produce any one of these based upon the people who are running for office. It could produce the first statewide elected official who's Muslim or who's Hispanic or who's Jewish or who's openly gay. That shows you the range of people who are running for lieutenant governor. So any one of these could be a first of one of these categories.
Yeah.
This is in.
And it also shows the range of exclusion that's been taking place in politics.
Right.
I mean, the fact that we're still having first, the fact that we even had a first Black woman, sexiest woman for Maxim magazine. It's a shame in 2021.
Get those first out there, Damon.
You know, I mean, considering the fact that that magazine was started in '95, and What's Love Got to Do with It came out in '93, Angela Bassett should have been on the cover of that situation.
Right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. And point well taken is talking about exclusion. And now, how things have changed. Well, yeah, but it sure took us a mighty long way. I listened to Kevin Hart's station sometimes, and one of the Plastic Cup Boys always talks about how he hates to hear about the first Black so-and-so now. Are we not at a point? I still think that we still need to be celebrated. These people need to be celebrated. But he says he does not want to talk about it. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't even want it acknowledged. He said we've come this far and we're still talking about it first.
Considering the fact that he is the first Black short man to have that many fucking hit movies, he should celebrate the first, you know. Been a lot of short guys be way before him that didn't do what he's doing. So I guess I'm never going to be in a Kevin Hart movie.
I don't think so. I don't. For some reason, I'm just thinking no. I don't know about you, Damon, but I'm thinking he's not going to see that.
Yeah, especially since Kevin didn't say it, so that you just pulled Kevin in.
Also, he's the first Black comedian that had to make 2 My Bad videos within. Okay. D,
okay.
If you laugh, D, if you're laughing, you were thinking the same thing. Okay. If
you gonna rope him into your? Okay.
You're not gonna sit here and laugh and go, Jay said it. No.
You would do that, Jay.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. He said it. She said it.
2 My Bad videos. That's hilarious.
2 My Bad videos. Hey, Damon, did you see President Obama in Chicago, or was it all virtual? His appearance before the Economic Club of Chicago the other day. Did you see him rolling down Hyde Park Boulevard?
No, you know, actually, and I was riding around the South Side with G-Thing when he was in town, but I didn't see
video, Damon. That was so funny.
That was great.
That was really funny.
Yeah, we having fun, man. You know, trying to make people laugh at riddles, so that's why I had him there. But I didn't see the prayers, man. We did ride through Hyde Park, so I can show him where he lived previously, because I don't even think he stays there when he comes to town.
Right.
But but it's good that he's out here trying to get things done.
Yeah, and he's talking, he's getting that Obama strut through his speeches. I feel that coming out in his speeches.
Can he run again, Sybil?
No,
he can't.
No,
he can't run again.
No, he can't even run for vice president because because if something were to happen to the president, that would make him president, and he couldn't do it according to the Constitution. He said the Republicans have pushed patently false claims, of course, about the 2020 election, stolen and criticized them for insulting voter suppression methods through the state legislatures, and calling upon not only the federal laws to change and to have the For the People Act as well as the John Lewis Act passed, but he's calling on corporations to stand up and to do their jobs as well. I don't know if you saw this, but North Carolina, there's a county in North Carolina, Jay and Damon, and Jay, you may know Summit County. That's where the town of Mount Airy or something. Mm-hmm. Well, they are taking all of the Coca-Cola machines out of government offices in Summit County, North Carolina, because of Coca-Cola's stance on voting of their push against voter suppression. So this is their effort to show how much in favor they are of voter suppression, that they're going to take all the Coca-Cola, which just inspires me to buy more Coca-Cola, by the way. But they're
and in a place that small, it's probably 3 machines. So Coke don't give a damn.
I think you're being generous.
They're gonna take all 3 of them vending machines out.
Right.
That'll show them.
Right. Yeah.
And if you really think that you're gonna stop people from the number one drink in the world that goes good, I don't give a damn what type of food you eat.
Right.
A Coca-Cola sets your ass right. If you really think people are gonna stop drinking Coke because they can't find the machines, they're out of their they're out of their mind. They really
They're
are.
out of their mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Coke's probably going, oh my God, we're gonna have to shut down. Oh my God, this is really gonna hurt our numbers.
Mass layoffs.
Yeah.
We just came back from the damn virus, and now, and they will blame it on the Democrats.
But in all jokes aside, the big companies are not speaking out against voters' rights because it hurts their dollar across the board. They don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't have to. I mean, people are going to buy Coke no matter who's voting. If Negroes could never vote at all, we'd buy Coca-Cola. So all these big companies, Apple and all of them, they don't give a shit. It doesn't hurt their number across the board. And what they really care more about is selling their product. So they're not going to take a stance. And then when they do, what's going to change? When you have a small amount of people making a decision as in terms of who's going to vote, we're going to stop selling Coke. We don't give a shit. We could care less. We don't care.
I would love to be a fly on the wall, you guys, at some point and just hear how these discussions and decisions are made in the boardrooms, and whether they honestly believe that they're making a difference in some of these, like Delta or Coca-Cola, all of these big businesses that are out of Georgia, and calling upon the state House and Senate to make some changes in these laws that they have passed. And what good does it do? But do they feel as though they're making a real statement?
Why would they do that, Sybil? Go ahead, Damon. Go ahead.
Yeah, the statement is propaganda. It's what they do with their dollars that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're still going to back the candidates that's in their best interest, beyond making a stance. Until they say they're going to withdraw their campaign contributions and not put that money in there, they can talk all they want.
Yeah. No, this is interesting. This is something that came out, I believe, over the weekend. The head of Chase announced, his name is Jamie Dimon. He announced that they are going to continue to withhold campaign donations to all of the politicians who voted against a commission on the January 6th insurrection.
It doesn't mean anything. These Republicans who are doing their hate speeches have found out without big contributions, I can raise just as much money or more money without anybody asking me and questioning me where this money come from. Look at your girl Green. Look at the money she's raising.
She's an aberration.
She's because of the hate speech. If you make that speech, people will give you money. They don't really need big business, and big business knows that. Like you said, you want to be a fly on the wall. These conversations don't even fucking come up. They don't even come up, Sybil. You think that they're sitting in the room talking about black folks can't vote at Coca-Cola? Hell no. I don't.
So you don't think that the employees and the executives who are black and other people of color at Coca-Cola are making a difference?
Who you gonna tell? Who the hell you gonna go tell?
George Wallace. I don't know. I don't know. But and it is naive of me. I agree.
I don't think it's naive, but it's just to think that, like we're saying here, they made it so we don't make a difference. Mm-hmm. Not only do we not make a difference, the discussion of what we're going through, it doesn't matter to them. It does not matter to them at all. They don't give a shit if black people can't vote. They don't give a shit if black people are in jail. They could care less. They don't care. It's not something that concerns them. You think Mitch McConnell sits up at night and can't sleep at night because he just says, I'm not going to deal with anything Biden does. I'm not going to help them across the board. I don't give a shit what they come up with. Biden is in a losing situation. Losing. He
All the way
can't
around.
fucking win. No.
So Damon,
sorry,
am I alone in this?
And thinking that, well, I mean, progress takes time, and if you chip away at it, I'm sure that it makes some difference. And I'm guessing that somebody might bring it up, but then they'll go on to the next thing. But the fact that Chase said they do the money, like that's the divestment of the funds, that's when it'll start to make a difference. But as Jay said, the haters got money, so it's so many people on the grassroots.
The haters got money. Haters.
Yeah, the haters don't. It's a lot of haters out there, and if the haters put their money together, that's what it is. And we are still in the minority, numbers wise. At least they lead us to believe that.
Right.
And until the dollars make a difference, then the candidates don't have to change, and they can continue to be hateful, and they can just stir up that base of hate that's been corralled by Trump, and trickle on down. So it's crazy.
Let's go to the question of the day. I want to ask you. This was submitted from Baller Alert. I want you guys to take a look at this. And tell me if you agree that no man wears a pair of underwear just one time before washing them. Well, first of all, are you washing them after you take them out of the package and then putting them on? Every man wears each pair of underwear at least 3 to 10 times before washing them.
First of all, Sybil, can I just say that I can't speak for Damon, but there's no way I could get 2 days out of these. There's no way. I've reached in. I'm not. I hope I'm not sharing too much, but
you are sharing a lot there. Yeah.
The underwear lets you know that you can't get another day out of these. Okay.
How does it let you know, Jay?
Well, there are ways that the underwear say, "I wouldn't put us back on if I was you." So that's
is it like
not only can you not wear them
know?
for more than one day, some of them have to be destroyed in the front yard, set afire. You know what I mean?
That's pretty bad, Jay. That's pretty. And is that just a guy thing, or is that true for women too? Do you think?
I would say no single guy. Maybe single guys can wear them, but if you got somebody you going to bed with at night, they're gonna see them drawers. So you got to change your drawers. You might want to be trifling. But you got checks and balances when you're not single.
And not only that, Damon, white underwear are just sitting on the shelves. Nobody buys white underwear. Nobody.
You would think they would sell more brown ones. That would be the genius move.
Yeah, I got to send you my video I did for brown unders, Damon. I did a video years ago called Brown Unders. And not only are they brown, Damon, but for the men who need that extra protection, they have a yellow front. So there it is right there.
Wow, another J. Anthony Brown invention that did not quite catch on, if you will.
Right. No, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. There might be some guys out there doing that, but no, I don't. Not
2 days at best, and that's with the wear them once and flip it rule.
Yeah,
but you can't get to the third day. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He said 3 to 10 times. So it's like, oh my God. Flip it again. Flip it.
You can, if you do it right, Damon's right. You can flip them. That's another day. And then you can go front to back and then flip that, which gives you 4 days.
But what happens to the opening there? You're looking like Donald Trump.
That's what you do when you got a boyfriend.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Hey.
So I want to talk a little bit about your vacation, Damon. You kept everyone abreast of your recent vacation south of the border. You and your bride, Juanita, regaled us with great photos in the ocean, at the pool.
Yeah.
I didn't see any shots photos, but I'm assuming there are some of those as well. You had a great time as Shay Joyner?
Absolutely. See, there was Shay Joyner and Shay Joyner Jr. So,
okay.
Yeah, he had the big old house where breakfast and lunch was served. And shouts out to Tom Joyner. He's the ultimate host, as you all both know. But then he had us our own villa, and then everybody left, so it became Shay Williams. But not only did he have the lodging, he also provided excursions. Like we went dune buggy riding, off-roading, and there was a concert every night with the Soul and Jazz Fest. And so it's just the greatest. It's an eye-opening experience, though, especially when you go from that treatment and then you come back home. So I did post a video of back to life, back to reality after that.
Right. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. We couldn't play it because of the music, but absolutely. It is a crash landing, isn't it?
Well,
yes, it is.
Tom has always said for years, and we always used to say it when we were doing the shows, there ain't no party like a Tom Joyner party, because the Tom Joyner party don't stop. And one thing you can say about Tom in terms of having parties and treating us and, giving us, adventures that we never probably would have on our own, like going to Africa and stuff like that. That's all because of him. So,
yeah. He's the ultimate host.
He is
the ultimate host. Yep. He really is. Damon, tell me about what's going on at Riddles. And also, can you give us a sneak peek to Martha's Vineyard?
Yes, Riddles Comedy Club this weekend. Actually, Chicago's favorite dude. His name's Uncle Rail. We're celebrating his birthday.
Oh,
yeah, you know Rail. So we're doing his birthday this weekend. Next weekend, we have this comedian Cleon from the Maryland DMV area. And then we do the Funny by Nature with Vivica Fox and the ladies who are on that tour. And so that's going to be fantastic. Martha's Vineyard tickets on sale now. We are back. We had to skip last year due to COVID. Ken Whitley's coming, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Alonzo Bolden. It's a bunch of people. My man, dang, I can't even think of his name right now. But anyway, that's taking place.
That dude.
That dude.
That dude, yeah.
Huh?
That dude, that dude. I can't think of his name.
That guy. But Jay, if you want to get back on the horse, man, you're welcome to come and host and play around with the people. Every time you come, it gets packed out. So come on, ease your way back into it, man. Matter of fact,
Damon, I can't remember. I was on stage in Myrtle Beach, and like I said, I couldn't remember a damn thing. But Bruce, who owns the comedy, Stardome in Birmingham, he says a lot of these headliners who've been in COVID for quite some time, he said most of them can't remember their damn acts. There's a lot of how you doing, where you from, what's your name. So if you don't ride that horse for a while, man, you do get rusty. So I'm gonna go up to Riddle and get my feet back wet in there. Yeah,
do that, and then just go online and watch your old videos, man. That's what I literally had to watch myself, and I'm like, wow, that guy is funny, because I was horrible when I first came back. I'm like, I wonder if I ever get to be.
You got to tell Sybil the story about when I did a show with you and I took the video. You got to tell that story. I've apologized so many times, but it wouldn't be great if you weren't here. So tell the story. I'm apologize before you tell it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Jay was working with us. We were doing the Harold Washington Theater in Chicago, and I'm doing my thing. So I wanted to record my set because I'm in the theater and I want to use this tape.
Yeah.
But Jay came in and saw the camera and went to the camera. Him and his boy, he took his goons over there, and they confiscated the tape. They threatened the man. They knocked over his camera. Don't tape shit while I'm in here. And so then he tried to send me the tape. It got lost in UPS. I never.
Oh, Jay.
He's apologized so many times for that.
That's
but the funny part was Damon came to me like, no disrespect. He said, "Motherfucker, that ain't your tape."
How you just gonna shut somebody's shit down? Yeah. And then I checked my cameraman. You a punk ass for letting them do it.
Wilding out on the road. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on today, Damon. I appreciate you, Jay. Give our love to Shawnee Mack. I know that he is
Shawnee
right
Mack,
there with you.
man.
Yeah, heart attack, man. So Damon, love to you. And folks, check out Riddles as well as the Martha's Vineyard weeks coming up in the month of August, right?
Later, man.
That's right.
Thank you. Thanks,
Later.
Sybil.
Thanks,
Hey,
guys.
y'all.
I appreciate it. Tomorrow,
Love you both.
Bye-bye.
Myra J. Talk to you later. Bye.